could describe my next guest as an owlaholic. Elise Mann has been swooping on owl collectibles for many years now and has managed to amass this cracking collection. For how many years have you been giving owls a home then?
I think it's about 16. It was really funny. I got two given to me for the same birthday, so I put them up on the wall with another one that I had from my childhood. And then people assume you're collecting and you start being given them and you start seeing ones and you think that'll go on the owl wall.
Now, I'm sure you're not alone in collecting owls. Are you aware of a lot of enthusiasts too?
Oh yes, there are loads all over the world. I run the International Owl Collectors Club and we have a couple of hundred members in 17 different countries.
So when you go shopping, are you constantly on the lookout for owls?
Well, you sort of develop a radar. You sort of see one just over there and you go over it, and the funny thing is when you go to buy it, if you say, I collect owls, one or two other voices in the shop will pipe up, so do I, so does my Aunt Mary. And that's how the Owl Club got started.
That's a very realistic looking one over there.
This is an absolutely lovely owl. I used to walk past the window he was in on my way to work, and eventually I went in and said to them, if I gave you a little bit of money each week, would you keep him for me? And they said yes, so I took in the odd tenner and fiver as I could afford it. And eventually I went to give them the last £10, and they took it out of the window and they put it in a box and it fell through the bottom and smashed on the floor. So this is a replacement.
Oh, right. You've got some like that, very realistic, but also some very stylised ones as well.
Yes, I find the stylised ones particularly interesting because there's just the shape and a couple of dents, but you know it's an owl.
It's rather like this box over here. I mean, that's very definitely an owl shape, and yet it's the barest of outlines, isn't it?
Yes, it's amazing how the human brain still says that's an owl.
That's a very nice one there that seems to have a little mouse in its beak.
It's very sweet, isn't it? It's actually a mustard pot. The head lifts like this, and then there's this little spoon on the end of the mouse. It fits back in, and it looks as though he's just having his dinner.
This is a good one, the oil lamp owl. Where did you find this?
That was given to me by a lady whose husband was in a hospice, and he was desperate that this owl would go to a good home because he had it from his parents. It's about 120 years old. And so she gave it to me and I gave the hospice a donation for it.
What about their looks? Why do you think they have such a powerful appeal for us?
I think it's those forward-looking eyes and the nose-beak look. I think they just look so human that people think they're thinking.
And what about their wisdom? That's legendary, isn't it?
Well, I'm afraid that scientists have experimented and decided that they're not actually very bright. They can't learn things. They can't learn that if you put this here, then you'll get some food.
What about other cultures? How do they regard owls?
Well, the Africans believe that owls are particularly stupid because they think it's rather daft that they sleep when it's easy to hunt and hunt at night when it's much harder.
You've got all shapes and sizes, big ones, small ones, and some miniature ones down at the front there.
Yes, those are tiny. Those are intended for an N-gauge railway where the actual train's only about an inch, and the other one is intended for wargaming.
Are there any that have been given to you as presents and have a real sentimental significance?
I love that Steve owl over there. He's very realistic looking, but he is a cuddly toy.
And he's even got his little button down here to prove his manufacturer.
Yes, and he was one of the first owls that my husband got me, I think even before we were married.
Well, they've come from all over the world. You've got Indian ones, Chinese ones, Japanese ones. It is an amazing collection. Elise, thank you very much for bringing them in.
You're welcome.